This was a workshop that was 4 hours long. I'm going to condense it in 5 minutes. Sofia Wojciechowski taught me this, and I implemented it, and I think it's a great practice. So it came from object-oriented programming, which is a model organized around objects rather than actions, data rather than logic. So let's put that programming to UX. It's really just a way to create objects rather than functions or functionality, and data rather than how it works. So really you're not doing any wireframing, you're just kind of like coming down and looking at the discrete objects by themselves. So what this does is it makes reusable, interchangeable, modular things, and you're thinking about the content first. And so it becomes very less page-oriented. You're not creating a wireframe. You're creating these discrete objects that you can move around. Think about it as Legos.
So the goal is to give you a framework and tools to help you make design decisions that align to your values. So it's not only just tools of like how to be a better designer, but how may you use those to actually make the world a better place. So this sounds kind of like high level, sounds kind of an impossibility, but that's why I'm developing this framework, so you can actually do this on a day-to-day basis. It's not something like, oh, I hope to achieve this someday. Maybe it's something you can chip away at every single day. And why am I inspired to talk to you? Because it seems like the decisions that we're making are becoming more and more important. So, like I said, she mentioned I've been in the industry for 20 years, and you think, okay, I'm making these wireframes, or I'm making these deliverables, and are they really having any impact? I mean, most things don't even get built, right? That's just ephemeral. But I'm going to argue that all of our decisions that we make and the people that we work with are influenced by the things that we make. So I think we need to go beyond usability, which is great, because in the last 20 years we've really had to fight for usability. Now we're there, and we're making usable things, but I also think we need to think about the long-term effects of how that's going to affect everyone in society and future generations. Think about what your values are, and think about how they've changed over time. And I'm not saying my values are good or better than your values, but we all have them, and they're going to push us in different ways. But I think if we're more like aware of them, it's going to help us be better designers.
I appreciate your talk a lot, because I was reflecting recently on, I started working in programming in 1995.
Okay.
And so it was like so
Awesome.
exciting to be able to make a hyperlink.
Right.
And I had no clue all the dark things that would that were coming. You know what I mean? Like it was like how naive were we? It was like so exciting
Yeah.
to have an image on
Right.
a page, and now that we have the dark web.
And now I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what really excited me about coming to this school then. And yeah, it was around the same time that I was like, the internet took off, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I want to be a part of this. Like, and I still want to be a part of it, even though things have gone awry, right? I think it's now our job, like yourself, like, hey, I know what has happened. I've seen what happened in the last 20, 30 years. Like, how do we make sure that things don't continue to go awry, or how can we influence those things? So yeah, I feel you totally. That's exactly how I feel. Like, super excited. Hey, we're going to do all these cool things, and well,
Somebody else was doing something else.
yeah. And I think that's going to be no matter what, right? No matter what technology it is. I mean, that's, I guess that's the human part of it, right? So that's why I'm trying to get our army of designers to go out there, do good.
And there's a lot of foundational things that you are learning now that it's going to help you in this career or other careers, because there's some fundamental things that just don't change. And one of those is just human cognition, perception, and just how people work. And I keep thinking about this as I look over my career and as I look towards the future. It's like, what should I be doing? What should I be using my tools for? Why am I doing all this? And it's like the things that need doing that no one sees to think that needs to be done, that's what you should be doing. And what's cool about what Tanya's teaching you and what you're learning at this school is it can apply to so many different things.
Welcome to Why Share Your Collection with Collection Loader. I'm your host, Matthew Martin, product designer at Ithaca. During this short video, we'll discuss the importance of sharing your collections, how Collection Loader works with our new infrastructure services, and how JSTOR can help, and how you can participate.
Ithaca's portfolio of services are all aligned around a shared mission to improve access to knowledge for people around the world as affordably and as sustainably as possible. Through decades of offering trusted nonprofit resources like Portico and JSTOR, we have built a framework that enables you to share, preserve, and manage your collections. The collection loader is being developed to handle different metadata schemas and display them on the JSTOR platform. The goal is to make the product easy to use for everyone, including digital archivists, librarians, coordinators, and students. To make sure we're creating something valuable, we showed our charter program participants an early version of the collection loader. One participant reported that it was simple and straightforward and it matched their workflow, and another said it was easy to use and to upload. The collection loader provides preview and editing capabilities for your data before importing. This offers insight into how the system interprets your spreadsheet. You also have the ability to rename metadata fields or exclude certain fields from the import if required. Over time, you can add more items to your collections and even update individual items. The collection loader also includes tools to add your institution's identity and branding on JSTOR. Lastly, there's a robust analytics dashboard that enables you to track the usage of your collections. Our tool has provided Southwestern University with the ability to view their collection usage in more detail. Previously, they only had access to broad usage data, but with JSTOR they can now analyze which items are being accessed from which collection, who is using them, and use that information to make strategic decisions about sharing other material and collections. Hi, I'm Matt Martin, a product designer here at JSTOR. I'm going to show you how to use Workspace to save and organize content you find on JSTOR for future reference. Anyone can use Workspace because it's free when you create an account. My Workspace loads up at a list view, but you can change it to gallery if you have a lot of visuals in your research like me. The MIST folder is there, as well as the first article we saved. I want to put the article with the other terms I saved. You can put it in a folder by clicking the three dots and click Move. Now that everything's in the right place, let's check out our folder. You're able to rename the folder, add a description, and more. I am Matthew Martin, and I'm a product designer here at Ithaca. Today I'm going to share an experiment with connecting metadata to the Getty controlled vocabularies using IA and vectorization. So what is the Getty vocabulary, and why do we care? Well, these are carefully selected lists of words and phrases used to tag and find content for art and architecture. It's a controlled vocabulary. And what we did is we focused on one vocabulary called the Union List of Artist Names, also known as ULAN. So cataloging with these terms from a vocabulary will make a consistent and robust descriptive metadata experience, which will improve access to our digital collections. It will increase connections with other scholarly material and should improve discovery. The problem statement I came up with was, as a cataloger, I want something that enriches my metadata so I feel free to focus on more complex metadata tasks. Okay. I also needed a bunch of training data, and this is where Christine came in. I had some spreadsheets, but we have a treasure trove of high quality metadata. And all I need is the ID and the name. The future consequences of that, sure, it's going to improve efficiency. You can focus on more complex metadata tasks. But what if those tasks, eliminate some of those, jobs? And what if it perpetuates some of those biases? You're going to lose some of that subtle human contextualization when you actually do some of this cataloging. So I think what we need to do is be careful of making sure that we're bringing people in to train those models like catalogers and metadata librarians, making sure they're part of the quality control and they remove the bias. And we're transparent about how we're using artificial intelligence and what kind of oversight we have, and if we can provide compensation and retraining if those jobs are displaced.